Title: Nightmare on Route 66, The Haunting Road Trip. Lights off, volume up. It's time for another haunting adventure on Dreamy Nightmares, where fear has a new name. The night air was thick with anticipation as I eased my car onto the legendary Route 66, a road that had witnessed countless tales of adventure and despair. My name is Charles Dutton, and this is the harrowing story of the road trip that would forever haunt my memories. I had embarked on this journey alone, seeking solitude and escape from the troubles that had plagued my life. The asphalt stretched out before me, illuminated only by the dim glow of my headlights. It was an eerie feeling, like traveling through a world frozen in time. The haunting atmosphere was only amplified by the silence that enveloped me. The engine's gentle hum was my only companion, and the world outside seemed to hold its breath. I had heard stories of strange occurrences along Route 66, tales of apparitions and unexplained phenomena, but I brushed them off as superstitions. As I continued down the desolate highway, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. Shadows danced at the periphery of my vision, and my imagination played tricks on me. It was just my troubled mind, I assured myself, seeking monsters in the darkness where none existed. The miles passed, and my unease grew. The road ahead seemed to stretch on forever, the monotonous rhythm of the road lulling me into a trance. I fought to stay alert, but fatigue began to weigh heavy on my eyelids. Suddenly, I saw a figure standing by the side of the road. A hitchhiker, I thought, a desperate soul seeking refuge from the empty night. My instincts told me to keep driving, to ignore the stranger and continue my journey, but something compelled me to stop. I pulled over, and the figure approached my car. He was a tall man, his face obscured by the shadows. He wore tattered clothes and carried a mechanical instrument. As he climbed into the passenger seat, a shiver ran down my spine. "Thanks for stopping," he said in a voice that sent a chill through my bones. "I've been waiting for a ride for a long time." I forced a polite smile, my unease growing with every passing moment. I asked him where he was headed, but he simply replied, "I'm going wherever you're going, Charles." How did he know my name? Panic began to claw at my chest as I realized that I had never told him my name. I glanced at him again, and this time, I could make out his features. His eyes were hollow and lifeless, and his skin had an unnatural pallor. My heart pounded in my chest as I pressed down on the gas pedal, desperate to put distance between myself and this unsettling stranger. But no matter how fast I drove, he remained in the passenger seat, his gaze fixed on me. "You can't escape me, Charles," he whispered, his voice filled with malevolence. I could feel his presence growing stronger, as if he was seeping into my very soul. The road stretched on endlessly, and I had no idea where I was headed. The world outside had become a blur, a nightmare landscape that twisted and contorted with every passing moment. As the hours passed, the stranger's words echoed in my mind, driving me to the brink of madness. I tried to reason with him, to plead for my release, but he only laughed, a bone-chilling sound that seemed to reverberate through the car. And then, as suddenly as he had appeared, he was gone. I was alone on the empty highway, the weight of his presence lifted. But the horror of the encounter lingered, a dark cloud that hung over me. I drove on, my mind in turmoil, haunted by the events of that night. The road seemed to go on forever, a never-ending nightmare from which there was no escape. I couldn't be sure if I was awake or dreaming, trapped in a waking nightmare that refused to release its grip. As the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, I finally reached the end of Route 66. The road had taken its toll on me, and I was a shadow of the man who had embarked on this journey. I had come face to face with a terror I couldn't explain, a malevolent force that had stalked me along the haunted highway. I may never fully understand what happened that night, but one thing is certain. The memory of that dreadful road trip on Route 66 will haunt me for the rest of my days. Thank you, Charles, for mailing your experience. Viewers, quickly mail us your story. Check description below.